Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown video for February 20th, 2018. We got birthdays on the February 20th. Doing this video on Thursday night. Gail Kim, she was born in 1977. Killian Dane from NXT, born in 1985. February 21st, Bertha Faye, 1961. Brodus Clay, 1973. Carlito, 1979. And Tommy Mercer, formerly known as Crimson from TNA. His birthday was, he was born in 1985. WWE is reportedly looking to hold one of their biggest events in 2018, according to Sportster. The MCG, that's Melbourne Cricket Ground, is looking to host more big events going forward, and WWE wants to capitalize on this desire. The venue has a capacity of 100,000 and is the 10th largest stadium in the world. It has been host to events such as the 1956 Summer Olympics, 2006 Commonwealth Games, multiple FA World Cup qualifiers, for those who don't know, that's soccer, and a Guns N' Roses concert in 2017, among many others since its inception in 1853. Whether it will be a traditional pay-per-view, non-traditional pay-per-view, or a WWE live event is still unconfirmed. But the aim is to come as close as possible to selling out the venue. Regarding past WWE pay-per-views, WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, Texas broke 100,000 threshold at 101,763. Although this number has varied in accuracy, others coming close to 100,000 were WrestleMania 3 in Pontiac, Michigan at 93,173. Again, that number is disputed. WrestleMania 29 in East Rutherford, New Jersey came at 80,676. SummerSlam 1992 in London came at 80,355. And WrestleMania 23 in Detroit, Michigan at 80,103. But I was thinking there was another either pay-per-view or something that had 100,000, and that was in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. The reported the ads that WWE and MCG are working hard to come to an agreement for a show this year. An NXT takeover event was suggested, but it would be a hard sell. Right now, WWE's biggest Aussie stars are TM61 and Melbourne's own Buddy Murphy, who just recently made his debut on NXT. But the company has not built these names strong enough to sell arenas of this magnitude as of yet. As far as the rest of the big four pay-per-views this year, SummerSlam will be held at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, and Survivor Series will be held at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. This means that the option to have a traditional pay-per-view there this year is virtually out there, and they would have to most likely push a WWE Live or NXT event there, since the rest of the pay-per-views are already booked for locations as well. However, with WWE going back to dual brand pay-per-views, as well as dropping a couple from the lineup, this could set up scheduling and additional one for Melbourne if the negotiations are successful. Other news, Brian Pillman's son, Brian Pillman Jr., the second, thanked fans on Twitter for getting him to 7,000 followers, and he will be releasing t-shirts soon to help raise money for his kiddie pool that Stone Cold Steve Austin broke many years ago. This is in reference to the infamous Raw segment where Austin went to Brian Pillman's home and Pillman had a gun on him for protection. When Austin first showed up, Pillman's friend tried to stop him, and Austin threw one of them in a small pool, attempting to drown him. On Twitter, Austin apologized for damaging the pool, but said he was just taking care of business. Well, Brian Pillman II, at Flying Brian Jr., lucky number 7,000 followers. Thanks for the love, fam. In order to raise money to replace the kiddie pool that at Steve Austin BSR belligerently destroyed when I was a kid, I will be releasing t-shirts soon for pre-order. Well, Stone Cold on Twitter at Steve Austin BSR replying to at Flying Brian JR. Young man, I was just taking care of business. I did what I had to do. I apologize for damaging your little swimming pool. The big news coming out of the gauntlet match from Raw with Seth Rollins going 1 hour and 5 minutes. Official WWE stats from the Twitter account noted that 1 hour and 5 minutes performance by Rollins is the longest amount of time any superstar has spent in a match during Raw's 25 years of history. Rollins eliminated John Cena and Roman Reigns during the match, but was officially eliminated by Elias. After the first 3 eliminations, Finn Balor eliminated Elias, and WWE Intercontinental Champion The Miz eliminated Balor. Braun Strowman then defeated Miz to win the gauntlet. And Rollins versus Reigns part can be seen at this link, and follow the second link underneath can be where Cena was eliminated by Rollins. The next are comments on Rollins' performance by Matt Hardy, Kurt Hawkins, Tyson Kidd, and WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. And the WWE says, and after 1 hour and 5 minutes in this hashtag gauntlet match, I am Elias, WWE sends at WWE Rollins to hashtag drift away on hashtag Raw. And that link can be seen there for you. Woken, Matt Hardy brand on Twitter. What an absolutely magnificent effort by at WWE Rollins in the hashtag Raw, hashtag Gauntlet match. 'Twas a warrior-like performance, defeating both members of the at WWE's polarizing pair. Brian Myers is a real name of Kurt Hawkins at the Kurt Hawkins. Wow. At WWE Rollins, what an unbelievable performance tonight. Hashtag Raw. TJ Wilson at TJ Wilson on Twitter. And that's Tyson Kidd's real name, by the way. What an outing by at WWE Rollins. Unbelievable. Booker T. Huffman at Booker T5X. Seth Rollins. Hashtag Raw. Impact took to Twitter as well earlier this week and congratulated former co-founder Jeff Jarrett on his WWE Hall of Fame induction. Jarrett founded TNA back in 2002 with his father Jerry Jarrett. Jeff had an off and on relationship with the company from 2013 to 2017. Two sides last parted ways in 2017. Well, the company was bought out. Jarrett joins Bill Goldberg, Ivory, and the Dudleys as confirmed names for 2018 Hall of Fame induction, which takes place on April 6th from New Orleans. And here is what officially the Impact Wrestling on Jarrett's induction. At Impact Wrestling, we'd like to congratulate Impact Wrestling founder and Hall of Famer at Real Jeff Jarrett on his induction to the at WWE Hall of Fame. Much deserved. Pancakes and Power Slams podcast. They interviewed Brian Cage. And the link is soundcloud.com. Hosted by Chris Featherstone. Whether his 2013 TNA gut check elimination was a work or a shoot, I had no idea what was going to happen. Earlier in the year, prior in the fall of 2012, I had a dark match, and Al Snow asked me if I would want to do gut check. He said, here's the deal. It's a shoot. We don't know if you are going to win or lose. You will be working with someone else on the roster. We want to sign you either way. And this is the only going to help you get signed on faster. Win or lose, we're going to sign you, but this will help you get signed on faster. I said, okay. Sure, I'll do it. Even then, all the top stars still were mind blown that they ended up choosing the other guy. People like Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle, nobody could believe it. Despite not knowing why I didn't win, I ended up getting a lucrative offer from Lucha Underground and AAA, so I went there. Being an X Division qualifying match against Sonata and Crazy Steve, I was curious why I was brought back. There were people that were within walking distance of being there. I'm flying out all the way from California. So I asked him, why am I filling this spot? It gets even better, they said. You know, most of management believes that they made the wrong decision and that you should have won gut check. And this is our way of making it up to you and giving you another opportunity. I asked if this was going to lead to doing business again and together in the future. They looked at me and gave me a cheesy head nod that we will be in touch. Afterwards, it fell flat on its face. I believe it was during the Spike TV deal situation. On his current deal with Lucha Underground, I am still under contract with the Lucha Underground as well. We began tapings in just a few weeks, so I believe myself and Johnny Mundo, who's now going under Johnny Impact, have full contracts with Lucha Underground as well as Impact Wrestling. Whether it was tough to negotiate a deal to work in both Impact Wrestling and Lucha Underground, it was very easy. They, Impact, had been interested in quite a while, and Lucha Underground okayed it to loosen up the restrictions in our contract. In TNA, they wrote a contract to be approved by MGM, and once they submitted it to me, I looked over it, and I was okay with it. I signed it, and there it was. I get to have full control of my character, my indie dates, and basically with Lucha, they run on a certain schedule. And Impact is great, and I get to do whatever indie dates I choose to. Cage talked about on whether WWE has shown interest in him. I haven't talked to them at all. I was under a developmental deal in 2009. Then I got released. I had a groin injury and was put into the squash match that lasted about 3 minutes. During the match, I was supposed to get a spot where I was going to get a boot, but I couldn't race to the boot because my groin was torn, and so they threw the boot like 12 feet away, and you're wondering what was going on or what he was doing. Despite having awesome matches with TJ Wilson, Tyson Kidd, none of that mattered. It was only that spot where they felt that I didn't want to do that spot. So I was really upset about it. I ended up on Tough Enough, and when we ended up in a town in Fresno, I met with John Laurinaitis and asked him how the match went. He said it went great. He said let's just get through WrestleMania because there was a month left until WrestleMania, and I was okay with it. I thought to myself, why would he lie to me? Why would he bring me down? So I was confident about it. WrestleMania came and went, but when I never heard back from them, I called him and he said to me, "Never mind, we're going to release you." I asked what he meant by that, and he said that they are no longer interested in me. I was so pissed. I said that it was okay. Thank you for responding and doing business with him. Through all the ups and downs from being signed to being released to Tough Enough, I said enough of this. I don't care about that anymore. I don't care if I don't go back now. My life is substantially better, both personally and professionally, after my release. I had been recently in talks with WWE, and they said that there were these trials coming up, and whether I was available, then they changed their minds, saying that they couldn't bring me in for those upcoming trials. They would try again for the next one, and so on and so forth. That was the way it went through. About a year and change. Finally, they were going to bring me in for a tryout. I said okay. After I booked my flight and everything, I thought about it, and the next day I said, "Never mind. I don't want to do it anymore." They said, "What do I mean? I don't want to do it." I responded by saying that I had signed with Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, AAA. I just didn't want to go on that weekend that they were offering, so I said that I am not interested at this time. It just felt really good to say that. They asked if I wanted to come through for the next tryouts, and I said that we will see what would happen. Since then, I haven't been to a tryout since. Am I willing to go back? I'm not begging to go back, but it would have to be where the opportunity would be perfect for me to go back. Right now, my life is great, my life is awesome, and there was no need for me to go back. I wouldn't say that I would never go back, but if it doesn't ever end up happening, I'm okay with it. It's always cool when a wrestler can find so much success outside WWE, especially after having some negative experiences with the company. Cage thrived in Lucha Underground, and it looks like Impact Wrestling has some big plans for him. And that was the end of the interview. WWE announced today that tickets to Survivor Series will be available on Friday, March 16th, starting at 1 p.m., which is 10 p.m. Pacific time. Survivor Series will take place Sunday, November 18th at Staples Center in Los Angeles and will be streamed live around the world on the WWE Network. Ticket prices for Survivor Series range from $25 to $500. All fans who purchase a $450 or $500 ticket will take a home commemorative Survivor Series chair. Tickets can be purchased at the Staples Center box office, also at AXS.com, or by calling 888-9-AXS-TIX, which is 888-929-7849, 925-357-4228, outside the U.S. and Canada. All tickets are subject to service changes and facility fees. Also, the card has not been announced, but if they do have one for the website, the card is subject to change. WWE Hall of Famer DDP was backstage at Raw to film material for future WWE projects, including the unreleased matches DVD on Hall of Famer Randy Savage that comes out later this year. Bayley tweeted the following and revealed that she filmed a segment for the Savage DVD. It looks like Corey Graves and Sean Mooney will also be hosting. I did see a picture of Sean Mooney. Didn't recognize him, but Corey Graves, obvious. Raw Tag Team Champions Shamus trains with Mickie James in a new Celtic Warrior workout in this video. Dark match before SmackDown tapings in Phoenix saw SmackDown Tag Team Champions Usos defeat Rusev and Aiden English. SmackDown opened up with Tom Phillips welcoming us to Phoenix. He's joined in by Corey Graves and Byron Saxton. Right to the ring, we get Renee Young having a microphone. Why wouldn't she? She introduces WWE Champion AJ Styles as he come out. Renee asks about the Fatal 5-Way at Fastlane, but fans start chanting AJ's name. AJ hits the corner to pose for the fans as they pop. Renee asks if AJ still feels in control of his own destiny for WrestleMania 34. AJ then points up at the WrestleMania banner hanging high and says, yeah, of course. He's in control. AJ feels like he can beat any man that steps in the ring with him. That sounds cocky, but he can back it up, and has backed it up his entire life. AJ says his Fatal 5-Way is a big problem because anything can happen in the ring or outside of it. AJ said it would feel good to put Kevin Owens through the announce table, but then there's a problem with that because Dolph Ziggler could be pinning Sami Zayn while he's doing that. And AJ would lose the WWE title. AJ then points to the steel ring steps and says that they look tailor-made for Sami, and he would love to put Sami's face into them, but Ziggler could have Owens pinned, and he would no longer be the WWE champion. AJ then gives props to Owens, Sami, and Ziggler, but says he can beat them all one-on-one. AJ goes on to talk about Baron Corbin, but the music hits, and out comes Baron Corbin with a microphone. Corbin says that he will stop AJ before he makes a fool out of himself by saying he can beat Corbin. But they've been doing that feud for almost a year. Corbin versus AJ. Because the last time they were here, they had a match. Fans boo Corbin as he walked to the ring. He says he defeated AJ the last time they faced each other for the U.S. title. And then in his rematch, Corbin said he has AJ's number. And AJ knows it. Because there's a major difference between them. AJ is just an athlete, and Corbin is a fighter. Corbin says he will enjoy pinning AJ for the title, or maybe he'll just pin someone else. Fans are giving Corbin the what treatment? And he says, either way it goes, we're looking at the new WWE champion. Music interrupts, and out comes Owens next. Owens was so sick of hearing these two talk, he figured he would come out and shut them up. Owens says the only person going through the announce table is AJ. Bye, pop-up powerbomb. Owens runs Corbin down for how weak he looked last week. Corbin fires back. Owens says Corbin doesn't belong anywhere near the Fastlane main event, but SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon has had it out for Owens since the headbutt heard around the world to Vince McMahon months ago. AJ then mocked Owens and asked if he got the boil that his Sami Zayn removed off his back. Owens says Sammy let him down last week. Owens made excuses for last week. Music interrupted. Out comes Shane. Shane makes Corbin versus AJ for tonight's main event. Tuesday's main event. Shane also makes Owens versus Ziggler. And that match starts now. Shane introduced Dolph, and out he comes. Owens argues with Shane on the stage as we go to commercial. And your first match of the night is Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. Back from a commercial break, bell rings and Ziggler unloads on Owens. Owens goes to the floor for a breather. Ziggler follows, but Owens turns it around and sends Ziggler into the announce table. Owens brings it back into the ring, but Ziggler drop kicks him. Owens rolls right back to the floor to regroup. Ziggler follows to the floor and slams Owens' head into the announce table a few times. Ziggler brings it back into the ring, but Owens drops him and kicks him a few times. Ziggler counters once again, and Owens goes back to the floor. Ziggler follows, but Owens sends him into the barrier. Owens talks some trash to Ziggler as the referee counts. They bring it back in the ring, but Ziggler drop kicks Owens off the apron. Ziggler goes after Owens, but Owens whips him hard into the apron. Owens brings it back into the ring, but misses the senton as Ziggler rolls out of the way. Ziggler with a splash in the corner. Owens counters a neck breaker. Ziggler blocks suplex attempts and hits one of his own. More back and forth now as Ziggler misses a splash in the corner. Owens follows up with a corner cannonball for a 2 count. Commercial. Back from the commercial, Owens remains in control. He brings it back into the ring, but Ziggler nails a big DDT. More back and forth action. Owens blocks a super kick with a gut buster. Owens then drops Ziggler into the corner and drops a big elbow drop from the second rope. Ziggler kicked out at 2. Owens goes to the top, but Ziggler cuts him off. Ziggler climbs up for a superplex, but Owens headbutts him to the mat. Ziggler runs right back up, and Owens sends him back to the mat. Ziggler blocks the frog splash with knees. Ziggler nails the famouser for a close 2 count. Owens blocks a zigzag and a super kick attempt. Ziggler avoids a pop-up powerbomb and hits a zigzag for a close 2 count. Ziggler goes on, but the music interrupts and out comes Sami Zayn. Ziggler waits for a fight as Sami runs to the ringside area. Owens takes advantage of the distraction and drops Ziggler with a super kick. Owens covers for the win. After the match, Owens looks surprised as Sami applauds and backs up the ramp to the back. Owens has his arm raised as we go to replays. Owens rants about the WWE title as he leaves the ring. Still to come segment, Riot Squad and 6-woman action. We'll get a look at the updated SmackDown Top 10 list. Jinder Mahal is backstage walking with Sunil Singh. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and Jinder Mahal's in the ring with Sunil Singh as fans boo. Jinder says he made a startling discovery earlier today, one that shook him to his core. He believes the WWE Universe deserved to know what he found out. He says WWE United States Champion Bobby Roode has a secret, but he believes in trust and transparency. Jinder says we're all in for a rude awakening. Jinder shows us who Roode voted for in the SmackDown Top 10 list. Roode voted for himself as number 1, which you were not supposed to be allowed to do. You wasn't supposed to be voting for yourself. Jinder also points to how he and Randy Orton were left out off of Roode's list. Jinder says Roode actually thinks he deserved to be ranked higher than Orton. Jinder says Roode is a glorious egomaniac and an inglorious liar. Music interrupts, out comes Roode. Roode says that wasn't his list on the big screen. He knocks Jinder for not even making the top 10 list again. Roode says Jinder wants to be U.S. champion so bad he's trying to put Orton on him. Roode enters the ring now. Roode says Jinder knows he can't win a fair fight. You can't win, the champ starts up from the crowd. Jinder admits that he wishes that he was U.S. champion. Jinder wants Roode to admit that he thinks he's better than Orton. Roode says he never said that. Jinder goes on taunting Roode about Orton and putting words in his mouth. Roode says one person he's not scared of is Jinder. Jinder says he should be because he defeated Orton. Roode yells at Jinder and tells him to forget about Orton. This is about us. They face off. The music interrupts and out comes Orton. Orton enters the ring and faces off with Roode. They have words, but Orton decks Jinder. Roode follows up with a clothesline on Jinder over the top rope. Singh scrambles to the floor to check on Jinder. Roode blocks the RKO and hits Gloria's DDT on Orton. Roode talks trash to Orton to stand tall as his music hits, but Jinder comes from behind and drops Rude with a collis. $1 million dream slam. Jenner and Singh stand tall while Rude and Orton are down in the ring. We see SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan walking backstage with Shane. Bryan suggests Rude versus Jenner at Fastlane. Shane believes everyone wants to see Orton versus Rude. They agree that they're not on the same page here. They discuss WWE title chase. Well, I'm predicting that could possibly be a triple threat. Bryan says every decision he makes is met with a resistance. Shane says only if they are made based on emotions. Shane says it's final. Rude versus Orton at Fastlane. Bryan says whatever Shane wants and walks off. Charlotte Flair, Naomi, and Becky Lynch versus the Riot Squad was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Becky Lynch has made her way to the ring. Naomi was out next. Riot Squad was out next. Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Riot. So we got 2 versus 3. Logan and Naomi go at it to start. Naomi gets the upper hand, and in comes Becky for a double team. Becky goes to work on Logan. Ruby tags in, but Becky avoids the double suplex. Naomi comes in and helps clean house. Liv runs in, but they double team her. Flair runs in and clotheslines Liv. Babyface stand tall in the ring as the heels regroup on the floor. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Becky has control of Ruby. Liv and Naomi go at it. Naomi keeps control, hits a split leg moonsault in the corner, but Ruby and Logan pull Liv to safety. Naomi flies and takes the others down on the floor. Liv sends Naomi into the steel ring steps. Liv brings Naomi back into the ring for a close 2 count. Logan tags in now, keeps Naomi grounded. Logan with more offense and big shots in the corner now. Naomi then counters the move and sends Logan flying with scissors. Flair comes in and goes at it with Logan. Flair knocks Liv and Riot off the apron. Flair with a neck breaker and a big boot to Logan. Flair goes for Liv with a big boot, but she misses and Logan takes out her knees from behind. More back and forth as chaos unfolds. It comes down to Ruby and Becky in the ring. Ruby nails the Riot kick and covers for the pinfall. After the match, Riot Squad stand tall at ringside as Ruby taunts Flair. We see Kevin Owens backstage. Sami Zayn walks in. Owens is going to thank Sami, but Sami says there's no need. He's here to thank Owens. Things have been rocky between them, but Sami owes Owens for being where he belongs now, the main event. Sami says that's all because of Owens. Sami says the last thing Owens needs is another enemy now. He needs his guardian angel. Sami says he has Owens' back and always does. But what's right, and this time, what's right is paying his friend back for all he's done. Sami says they need to take Shane's little plan to divide them and turn it on him. Turn it on him, in other words. Sami says that they will take the other competitors out in a fatal 5-way, one by one. And when it comes down to Sami and Owens, Sami says he will do the right thing and lay down for Owens in the middle of the ring. Owens doesn't know what to say. Sami says all Owens needs to do is become WWE champion and go on to main event WrestleMania. They hug and Owens looks confused. So to come segment, your main event, Styles versus Corbin. We see New Day backstage, handing out pancakes. Back to commercial. Number 1 contenders match, New Day versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Back for the break, out comes the New Day first. Shelton and Chad were out next. Winner of this match will face SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos at Fastlane. Xavier and Gable go at it to start, going back and forth. Benjamin comes in and catches Woods with a spine buster for a close 2 count. Benjamin with more offense and hits a big knee to Woods, but Woods kicks out at 2 as go for a commercial break. Back for the commercial, Benjamin has Woods up top. Woods fights back, headbutts Benjamin to the mat. Woods then nails a missile drop kick. Kobe kicks and rallies fans up. Big E gets a hot tag and unloads on Gable as he comes in. More back and forth between the two, and another controversial referee call and interference from Kofi. Woods ends up getting the pin on Benjamin to win the match. Winner and new number 1 contenders, New Day. After the match, New Day celebrated their title shot, and Gable and Benjamin make their exits. New Day starts tossing pancakes at ringside. But the lights go down. Music hits. Out come the Bludgeon Brothers to the stage. Harper and Rowan. Bludgeon Brothers head to the ring as the New Day watches them. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we get backstage video from Charlotte. She says if she has to put her title on the line to get Ruby right, then so be it. Bludgeon Brothers go up against enhancement talent. No names are given for them. We go to the ring and bell rings and the Bludgeon Brothers face off two local enhancement talents. Rowan and Harper immediately nail drop kicks to their opponents. They take them out to the floor for more stiff punishment. They bring them back into the ring for more big power moves, including the double team slam for the win. After the match, Rowan and Harper stand tall as we go to replays. We go to Ruby's response to the backstage video from Charlotte. Ruby challenges Naomi to a match next week and says that she hasn't forgot about Flair. Ruby challenges Flair to a title match at Fastlane and says that that's where Flair's world will come crumbling down. Announces plug WWE Elimination Chamber and the WWE Network. We cut to a backstage video. Package on Shinsuke Nakamura. AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin would go to the ring for tonight's non-title main event. Out comes AJ Styles, your champion. Back to commercial. Back from the break. Baron Corbin is out for your main event. We see Dolph Ziggler watching backstage. Back from another break. AJ fights Corbin off. Corbin goes out and runs back into the ring, nailing a huge clothesline for a 2 count. Corbin keeps AJ grounded now as Corbin ends up hitting the ring post and going down. Styles slides through the ropes and boots Corbin into the barrier. Styles with a sliding knee to the jaw from the apron. We'll get a replay of that. Styles approached Corbin, but Corbin tossed him over the announce table. Styles then comes right back, jumps to the apron immediately, and hits phenomenal forearm for a close 2 count. Corbin goes for the throat, but Styles unloads with strikes. Corbin counters and slams Styles for a pin attempt. Corbin then takes AJ to the top and works him over. Corbin climbs up, but AJ headbutts him back down. AJ comes off the top, but Corbin moved. Corbin nails the deep 6 for a close 2 count. Corbin has words with the referee. AJ blocks the end of days and rolls Corbin into the calf crusher in the middle of the ring. Corbin breaks it by spiking AJ's head into the mat. AJ springboards up, but Corbin catches him and yells at him. Styles hits Corbin and nails a phenomenal forearm for the pin and the win. After the match, Styles stood tall and raised the WWE title. As we go to replays, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens hit the ring to beat AJ down as the fans boo. Corbin ends up hitting the end of days on Sami and then Owens. Corbin leaves the ring as his music hits as SmackDown goes off the air. Well, they're finally giving him a push. Let's see what they do with it. What happened after SmackDown went off the air? There was some backstage news on Dolph Ziggler, new Undertaker gym video, WrestleMania 34 storyline spoiler, Vince McMahon pushing a new Raw star, must see new Lana and Liv Morgan, Chris Jericho's next big move rebuild or movie. That's all I said. Thanks to Mark on Twitter at this _is_ Mark. Recap of last week's first round tournament for 205 matches. Mark Andrews defeating Akira Tozawa while Drew Gulak took down Tony Nese. Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness welcome us to the show, previewing tonight's matches. Jack Gallagher versus Mustafa Ali and also Buddy Murphy making his debut versus Ariel DeVere. Before the match gets going, DeVere says Murphy just made the big deal cutting down to 205 pounds. This isn't the biggest loser. It's 205 Live. And Murphy isn't stealing the WrestleMania moment. We also see Murphy's final weigh-in, making it under the belt limit at this link. TD Wrestling at Total Divas Eps. The secret is out. At WWE_Murphy is here. Buddy Murphy chant gets going from the crowd as things get started. Murphy with a hurricanrana, sending DeVere to the floor. Slides out and tries to send DeVere back into the ring, but the two end up on the apron. DeVere drops Murphy on the apron and shoves him into steel steps. Action back in the ring with DeVere hitting some big chops and sending his opponent into the corner. Murphy then charges in. He gets hip tossed in the corner. Pin for a 2 count. Action right there for you. Another Twitter thing at WWE Murphy on the rise. WWE _ Murphy on the rise from Total Divas Hits. Murphy lands a couple of kicks, selling a back injury, and hits a couple of clotheslines. Another kick drops DeVere near the corner. Murphy hits to the top, but DeVere moves to the floor, and Murphy hits a huge front flip over the top rope. He gets back up, hits to the top again, lands double knees on DeVere, pin for a 2 count. DeVere caught up with him with a spinning forearm, heads to the top rope, frog splash, cover for a 2 count. Hammerlock lariat, pin for 1, 2, nope. DeVere can't believe it. McGinnis says nobody has ever kicked out of that yet. Murphy recovered and hits the lightning quick pump handle spinning slam pin. That'll do it. Buddy Murphy makes his 205 Live debut win. Backstage, Drake Maverick reveals the matches for the next round of the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament. Cedric Alexander versus TJP. Roger Strong versus Kalisto. Mark Andrews versus Drew Gulak. And finally, Buddy Murphy will face the winner of Jack Gallagher and Mustafa Ali. TJP and Alexander come into the picture and talk some trash before TJP heads off. And that, let me see right there. Drake Maverick at WWE Maverick on Twitter says, the official at WWE _ Cruiserweight Championship Tournament brackets. I think I got a picture of it. Go to last week's for the bracket. Kalisto tells McGinnis and Joseph to let his upcoming opponent, Roger Strong, that speed kills. Graham Metallic and Lance Dorado with Kalisto versus 2 guys. No interest for Metallic or Dorado's opponents as Dorado goes to work. Pours hole number 1. Metallic tagged in and gets right to walking the rope with a nice drop kick. Metallic gets distracted momentarily, and the other team gets a little bit of offense. Dorado is then tagged back in and goes to work. Hits crossbody off the top rope. Pin, 2 count. Action right here for you. Total Divas Hips on Twitter. Yes, sir. At Luchador LD gets 2 for 1. Handspring double stunner by Dorado, sending both opponents to the outside. Both Metallic and Dorado up and cover the top rope. Dropping both wrestlers, Metallic throws one of their opponents back into the ring. Dorado up top hits a shooting star press off the top rope cover, and that'll end that match too. Backstage, Drew Gulak says someone said he went too far last week, but only losers say things like that. He tells Andrews he's all flash and Gulak will be moving on. Random location. Mark Andrews says he's going to fly right past Gulak. Andrews was holding the camera and did a backflip. And on his way to WrestleMania. But Total Divas accepts at Mandrews Jr. won't be held down by the no-fly zone. And that could be seen right here. The link action. Jack Gallagher versus Mustafa Ali. First round tournament match. Action can be seen at this link. At demanded by the general manager, Gallagher out in new racing attire. Gallagher goes to work on Ali's shoulder and wrist. Ali having trouble getting away from Gallagher as Ali gets dropped and put into a Fujiwara armbar. Ali quickly gets to the bottom rope for a release. Some back and forth mind games are being played by both wrestlers. Multiple pin attempts by both wrestlers, none of which should end in a 3 count. Both get caught up in the rope. Spinning kick sends Gallagher to the floor. Ali tries for a baseball slide, but Gallagher pulls up the ring apron to trap Ali and swings away on his opponent. Referee starts up a 10 count. Ali able to make it in the ring. Crowd with a random Rusev Day chant as Ali chops down his opponent. Pop-up drop kick. Followed by Hurricanrana. Face buster by Ali, and he tries to go up top. Gallagher stops for a moment. Ali goes up, but gets stopped. Both men up on the second rope. Gallagher yanks Ali's arm over the top rope, and sends Ali straight into the ring post. Pinned for a 2 count. Gallagher tries to work the arm over, but almost gets pinned in the process. Gallagher gets sent to the outside. Ali goes for a corkscrew over the top rope and Gallagher apparently moved out of the way. Kind of what looked like Gallagher wasn't expecting him to come over like that. Weird spot. Referee getting up to the 10 count. Ali took the 9 to get back in. Action at that late. AJ keeps getting caught in arm bars, but is able to break out of them. Ali on the apron now. Gallagher throws Gallagher's face into the top turnbuckle and heads to the second rope. Just call it snake eyes. Gallagher locks in and yet another arm bar. Ali shoves him off. Gallagher with a running drop kick that sends Ali from the second rope all the way to the barricade. Oh my! Crowd woke up for that bump. Gallagher doesn't wait and throws Ali shoulder first into the barricade. Action back in the ring. Scoops Sam in the corner. Pin for 2 count. Gallagher with multiple hard elbows to the side of the head. Tries for another pin. 2 count. Gallagher looks to be getting a bit frustrated. He sits Ali on the top rope and tries for a back suplex. But Ali flips and lands on his feet. Spinning DDT. The 450 for the win. Spinning DDT and 450 for the win. Winner of the match, Mustafa Ali by pinfall. Next week, Cedric Alexander versus TJP with Roderick Strong versus Kalisto. I did not get any results for the dark match for after SmackDown. So, that'll be it for this week. See you when I'll be. If you don't know, just comment, brothers and sisters.